The adventure of this aquarium continues. I don't know which direction this experiment will take. We are on day 390, and this ecosystem is constantly changing. I noticed that 99% of the followers are not subscribers. Please subscribe so that I can continue to provide you with good quality videos. It takes 3 seconds to subscribe and like. I worked over 30 hours just to edit this video. Thank you. It's hard for me to understand everything that happens in this aquarium, but I am sure that everything follows the natural course of nature. But the balance of this ecosystem can be disturbed, sometimes without realizing it. If you have some knowledge about aquariums, then the chances of destroying such an aquarium are even higher. Yes, you heard right. The more you think you know about aquariums, the more chances you have to fail with this type of aquarium. Stay here to tell you what mistakes you are making without realizing it. Invasive snail species are good. They are essential. Do not remove them from the aquarium. Most aquarists, for aesthetic reasons, do not want snails in the aquarium. Sometimes the number of snails in the aquarium is out of control, but this is precisely because that aquarium is not a stable one. It has some imbalances. I got used to using the snails considered invasive as an indicator of the state of the aquarium. There may be times when snails breed in larger numbers, but their number will gradually decrease because not all of them will have enough food. If it's not a lot of food, the snails don't breed anymore. In this aquarium, I have 6 species of snails. Pink lady snail and nearite snail need salt water to breed, and the other species of snails reproduce by rotation, as if they have an arrangement not to breed at the same time. Now in this aquarium, it is time for this snail to breed. It's the first time he does it. Attention to this snail. The species can carry various parasites, including trematodes, which can be transmitted to humans. Therefore, an invasion of snails is like an army, which eats any element that can alter the quality of the water. After they have fulfilled their mission and the water quality is no longer in danger, they can focus on algae. This is an ideal case, but not unrealistic. Yes, it also consumes a significant amount of algae, even if there are some algae that they only eat if they are too hungry. Conclusion: don't try to eliminate snails considered invasive if your aquarium is low-tech. Another mistake that many make is the use of chemicals in the aquarium. Many people told me that the potting soil I use is enriched with chemicals. The potting soil I use as a substrate is organic and peat-free, but I looked again at the used potting soil packaging and found no indication of chemical compounds anywhere. The use of chemicals, fertilizers to be exact, in such an aquarium without a filter, without water exchange, and without water circulation is very dangerous. Whatever is introduced into the aquarium will change the balance of the ecosystem. A very small amount of chemicals can be enough for these worms, which live in this aquarium from the beginning, to die. They don't need much, and because they are part of the ecosystem, their possible death can have a fatal impact on the whole aquarium. This is just an example because I have identified in this aquarium at least 4 different species of worms with an important role in the ecosystem, but also other small creatures that you can only see if you use a magnifying lens. But in an aquarium without water exchange, chemicals can directly affect fish, shrimps, or snails as well. Chemicals can cause the formation of the biggest enemy of the aquarium, algae. Another big risk is that some chemicals react with some gases that can form in the substrate. We all know that in this type of ecosystem, some gas bubbles form in the substrate. It must be known that there are several gases, and the number and concentration of these gases is closely related to the type of soil chosen for the aquarium, the quality of the water, the number of fish and plants. Conclusion: do not pollute the ecosystem. But you can make a big mistake at the very beginning. If you made this mistake, the ecosystem will not be able to find its balance. It's about plants. It is important that a large number of plants are planted from the first day. Plants take over the role of the missing filter. Using a large number of plants helps the start of this ecosystem. Also, the use of several species of plants is useful because some plants, although they grow quickly, need a longer time to acclimatize. A large number of plants absorb the excess nutrients in the aquarium water faster. This is good for not giving the algae time to grow. If in an aquarium with fertilization the plants have a fast growth rate and spread everywhere in the aquarium, in a low-tech aquarium some of the plants will die or have a slow growth rate. Conclusion: plant many plants from the beginning. But what do you do when something is not right with the aquarium? You make changes in the aquarium. Major changes. At some point, we all encountered some problems with our aquariums. Then, it is natural to identify the cause that caused these problems and to fix it. So far, nothing is bad. But sometimes we panic and take extreme measures for the ecosystem. For example, if we notice that the plants need more light, we extend the lighting time too suddenly. Let's say from 6 hours a day, as it is now, to 10, 12 hours a day. Although in theory the ecosystem needs 12 hours of light, in practice the sudden transition to such a long duration of lighting is even harmful. In such cases, I recommend increasing the lighting duration gradually by 1 hour every 10-15 days. Extreme changes in the ecosystem do not only refer to light. Any big change produces an imbalance in the aquarium. It can also be a matter of changing the water if is necessary, trimming a large number of plants, or even introducing a large number of fish into the aquarium. And the interesting part is that maybe we are making the wrong change in the aquarium. In this case, giving the ecosystem more time for accommodation, it will better bear the new conditions. Giving more time to the ecosystem, you also have more time to notice if the measure taken is not good. It is possible that sometimes everything is fine with your low-tech aquarium, but suddenly, without making any changes, the balance of the ecosystem is disturbed. The cause can be fish. If you chose a large number of fish for a low-tech aquarium, I already predict that you will have problems in the future with the stability of the ecosystem. The amount of waste produced by fish affects water quality. Beneficial bacteria and live plants help break down waste, but excessive bio-load can lead to water quality issues. The same thing happens if you choose too big fish for your aquarium compared to the volume of the aquarium and the number of plants. But the biggest trap can be when you choose the right number of fish, of a small size, but that breed quickly One such example is the guppy fish. They are beautiful, are not picky about water quality, but guppy fish breed very quickly. Around year 2004, I had a 22-gallon planted aquarium. One day, a friend said that he was offering me some fish because his aquarium was overcrowded and he knew that I had no fish in the aquarium. I accepted his offer. I received 5 very beautiful and healthy guppy fish. Only that 12 months later, due to the rapid rate of breed, I had over 150 fish in the aquarium. Conclusion: choose the right fish. When you have beautiful fish in the aquarium, it is a pleasure to see how they eat. But it also happens to me to drop too much food to the fish. Excess food breaks down into toxins, harming your fish and the tank's ecosystem. Leftover food sinks to the bottom, creating sludge and oxygen-depleting conditions that can cause disease. Overfeeding can lead to obesity, reducing your fish's quality of life. Usually, when I drop too much food to the fish, I don't feed them the next day. A healthy fish is not a fish that has eaten as much as it could. Many fish breeders are used to feeding the fish with a quantity of feed 25% less than the normal quantity. If you feed the fish with too much food, their lifespan will also be shorter. Conclusion: do not overfeed. Whether you are doing water changes or you just need to top up the evaporated water from the aquarium, you must make sure that the water used is not bad water. You can have a big surprise from the water you put in the aquarium. We drink tap water, and we think it is good to use in the aquarium. Unfortunately for aquarists, local water companies add chemicals to the water to make it safe to drink by adding chlorine or chloramine to kill bacteria. More recently, concern about water flowing through older lead pipes has caused some water utilities to add pH-raising chemicals to the water. This water, once it reaches the aquarium, will kill the bacteria in the aquarium, and it will destabilize the balance of your ecosystem. Although I have the same problem with the quality of the tap water that I use in this aquarium, all I do is leave the water in a bucket for 2 days before using it. I don't use a large amount of water because I don't do water changes, but I still have to add water because the aquarium is not covered and the water evaporates. Conclusion: don't use bad water. Another big mistake that can be made from the beginning is a thin substrate. I used a fertile substrate covered by a layer of gravel. The gravel layer must be thick enough to keep the potting soil in place and prevent it from clouding the water when it's displaced. It is no problem if this fertile substrate is thicker. It is good to be thicker than the one I use. Although the height of the fertile substrate was good at the beginning, I noticed that the substrate has decreased. Its height is getting smaller and smaller. It is consumed. This is an ecosystem, and plants are not forced to grow using various methods. Plants grow as in nature. Think about this. If a plant grows 30 centimeters, can its 4 centimeter root extract enough nutrients for the plant? So the higher the substrate, the bigger the plant root will grow and will be able to extract more nutrients. The benefits of a thick substrate are many. Let's not forget the bacteria. I will not go into details. But the conclusion is, use a thick substrate. At the end, I want to clarify a possible mistake of mine. Many people recommended me to use an air pump in the aquarium. What do you think? Can I use an air pump, or is it a mistake? Because you stayed until the end, I recommend 4 interesting videos. These will help you even more to understand more about the low-tech aquarium, and also some explanations to the most frequent questions